Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I have to do a few paintings for for display at an art shop. So I've been trying to figure out what I want to do. So I'm going to do an infinity pour, but I've decided to try it with my Holcroft professional paints. So these cost a bit more, so they're a better paint than what I normally use, but I wanted to try them out. So I'm doing it on a smaller canvas, which is also a thick-sided canvas. But I have permanent light violet and dioxazine purple. So that's on the purple side. Then on the blue side, I have ultramarine blue and turquoise. Then the colours I'm going to mix in both sides, is going to be titanium white, carbon black, and silver. So my plan is to have two different colours either side. But I want it to be predominantly a deeper purple side and a lighter turquoise side. So I've mixed what I call a full dose of dioxazine purple with a half dose of permanent light violet. So it's going to be more the deeper purple with some light purple added. And then the blue side, I want mostly turquoise with a bit of the blue added. So my main goal was to have a deep purple and a turquoise with the other colours mixed in. The silver, I have mixed a full dose because silver's going to go well on both sides. And the silver can sometimes lose itself a little bit. So I thought if I do an extra, so a full dose of that, then that will look good. And then I've done half doses of the carbon black and the titanium white. So I think I have enough paint. It's not as easy to work out how much paint I needed for this canvas because it's smaller, but it's also deep-sided. So it was a little bit of a maths challenge for me. But ultimately, the full cups, so the turquoise, dioxazine purple and silver, I've got 11 grams paint, 19 grams floetrol and 8 grams water. In the half dose ones, which is the black, white, light violet and the blue, is 6 grams paint, 9 grams floetrol and 4 grams water. So that is the plan. We will just have to see how it actually turns out as I'm doing it. Pardon me. So what I want to do is add a bit of the purple, then add a little bit of the violet, and I'm doing a dirty pour. So a bit more purple. Then we'll go a bit of silver. Oh, can see nice reactions happening already in that. A little bit more of the darker purple. So that's the difference with using different paints. You will get slight different reactions. So this will be interesting to see how this paint actually works with each other. Because I can see cells actually forming in the cup from the silver mixing. Gonna add a bit of black into that. Then we'll add a little bit more of the darker purple. So it's just a matter of mixing it all up. We're going to add a bit of white. Add a bit more silver. We'll go to purple again. Then some black. That's all the black I'm going to use. Then the violet, which I will finish off. Yeah, so sometimes it can be a little bit hard of a challenge figuring out how much paint you need for a canvas that I haven't really used much before. But we will see. It's all a bit of fun. We're going to go more silver. Oops, that should be enough silver. A little bit of white. And then the rest of the purple, so we'll pour what I can in and then scrape the rest on top. Yeah, so I've used these paints in swipes, but I've never used these paints in a pour, just because you use a lot of paint with a pour and the price difference is a little bit more. But I'm hoping that also means that the quality is quite good. And I can't get certain colours in the other paint, so the dioxazine purple I can only get in this brand, not in the other brands that I use. So as you can see, that's looking pretty cool in there. So we'll see how that works out. Oh, and my canvas is a Geraldo di Polo 8x10 gallery stretched canvas. And I have partly taped up the back. I don't mind if I get a bit of paint roll over on this side, but I don't want any on the wood. So I've taped that up, put my pins in, and yeah. And now we'll go with this one. So I'm just randomly pouring colours in. So what my brain was thinking was a nice deep purple and a turquoise painting would actually look quite good. So that was why I decided on these colours. And again, I can see reactions happening to the colours in the cup. So this could be quite interesting. So I may actually notice that I may get more reactions using these paints than I do using my other brand of paints. So there's not going to be as much. So I don't really know how, but looking at the level of this cup compared to the level of the purple cup, there's more paint in the purple cup. Which doesn't quite make sense unless I used a little bit more black and white, but there wasn't a lot there to really overdo it on. Oh well. It's an infinity pour. It really won't matter if there's a little bit more on one than the other. I might go the white, even though that could make grey being near the black. Oh, I nearly dropped the cup in the cup. Done that a couple of times. So this is what I mean by you got to experiment with different brands too. So this may end up being a lot more interesting type of a infinity pour because I'm using these brand of paints compared to the other brands that I use. I may get more effects out of it. So it's good to sometimes try different things, but it does often come down to your price range as well. So, but the silver in this brand for that tube that I got is about $18. So it's a lot. It does actually add up a bit, especially when you do pours, because you are using a lot more paint than you would if you were doing a swipe. When I do swipes, I use like maybe 4 grams of paint per colour, and I don't use anywhere near as much colours as I am now. But if it turns out to be like absolutely awesome, then it's something I'll have to look into. Okay, there's not a huge difference in volume, a little bit. This one seems to have, the purple's got more reactions so far, but it is reacting in that one as well. Oh, sorry, stretch my back. Just make sure it's recording. Yep. Last thing I want to do is do this and not have it recorded. So, yeah, I'm quite excited to have my artwork in the art shop. So that's something to look forward to. So I want to get these painted, dried, and if needed, varnished. I don't know if they'll need varnishing or not, but I'll see how it goes. So I needed a little bit of time before I get that done. Alrighty. So, it's a smaller canvas, so you can't go as crazy with your infinity pour spins. But like normal, do your little hand pattern. I think my body's gotten used to doing that movement now, so I'm not too bad. But it's always good to just do this for a little bit, just to get your body used to it. I just got to make sure I do smaller spins, because I need to keep it on this smaller canvas. Because I'm hoping I've got enough paint, but sometimes you never know. So. Oh, I should have enough paint, even though I'm losing a whole bunch right now, running off the edge. So I'm going to stop in a second. And I'm going to pour, because I don't want to lose too much more. So pick a side, go over. Whoa, that's a little bit fluidy. I wasn't expecting that to go so fast. Quickly do these edge bits. Pick the right finger to do the right corner. Okay. And I don't know how much, what else I can actually do to kind of, I don't think I can actually do too much more. If I do too much movement, I think I'm going to lose the purple corner. I like that. It's not as infinity pour as my other ones. I think it's because it's a smaller canvas. It's harder to do it. And it did actually move quite quickly. So possibly I'd have to make this one, these paints slightly thicker. Which, a little bit disappointing if I have to, because that just means more paint, which is probably the more expensive out of all the ingredients that I use in this type of pour. But I can see the silver in there, and that silver's looking really awesome. There's definitely a whole bunch of silver here, and the silver is mixed in with the purple. I was probably expecting there to be more purple than actually turquoise, but it's actually gone the other way around. More turquoise than purple. So with these infinity pours, you leave it for a little bit, and you do seem to get some more effects show up. Sorry, I'm just checking all the corners to make sure that it is covered. It does seem like the paint could have been slightly thinner than I would have preferred. So maybe not add the water, or add a lot less water. Like, really there wasn't much water. Some of them only had 4 grams or 8 grams, but adding that little bit less water might have kept it a little bit more thicker and maybe not rolled off so quickly. So I'm just going to give it a little torch just to see if that brings up any extra effects. Not really. I saw a little bit of movement, but that was probably just a bubble or two popping. Cool. Oh yeah, so I can see another strip of silver running down through there, all through here, and a bit more over there. And it has added some extra shine to it. So this is the first time I've been able to get the silver in this brand. I've had other colours, but the silver was one that always seemed to have ran out. So that's quite cool that I managed to get that. So I think this is a success. I think the only thing different I would do is add a little bit less water, because I think it was a little bit too fluidy. I don't know if fluidy is actually a real word, but it's the word I'm using. So I am going to pause it and bring you down for a close-up look. So there we go. There definitely isn't as much of the dioxazine purple as I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more. It is there. It has mixed with the white and given me different coloured purples. The turquoise is quite dominant, with the darker blue kind of poking through. And there's a nice good bit of silver, but there's silver running through all over here as well. So as you can see, there is lots of different effects. Not as much of the actual ribbon that you get with the infinities, where the lines cross over each other. There's little bits here and there, but not a lot. That end's kind of getting lots of cells. So as you can see, the cells are there, but there is no anything to force cells. This is just the reactions of the paints coming through. So, are you focused? Yeah. Alright, so this is interesting. I think it's quite good. But this is the reason why you do practices that you haven't done with new paints and everything on a smaller canvas. So it's a reasonable size, but it is smaller than what I usually do. Just so you can learn the new paint, how it behaves, what it wants to do, and then you can adjust accordingly. But this is it. So I hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, share, like, leave comments, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you tomorrow for another one. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.